Clean eating made easy. 5 simple tips to balance everyday meals. Hi everyone, I'm Karla Adams. I have over 28 years experience in exercise science, sports nutrition. So what I do is I spend about 8 hours a day in the data for transformation. And if you're tired of dieting, confused about what to eat, or just really ready to finally feel good after your meals and you're not in the right place, today's video is for you. I'm going to be walking you through 5 simple tips to balance your meals using clean eating principles that actually work. Whether you're trying to lose weight, gain energy, or just feel better in your own skin, balancing your meals is the key, and it's easier than you think. Let's dive in. Tip number 1, build your meals with the big 3: protein, healthy fats, and fiber. When we talk about meal balancing, the first and most important thing to understand is the macronutrients: proteins, carbs, and fiber-rich carbohydrates from the earth. Most people feel sluggish and get cravings later because they're eating processed foods or things that are empty or things that just do not match our body. And they could be missing one of these 3 things in the meal. The protein-carb combination is the most powerful combination for satisfaction in the body for a 3-hour period of time. Here's the formula I teach: protein to fuel your muscles and your metabolism, healthy fats to stabilize blood sugar and hormones, fiber-rich 1-ingredient carbs from the earth like vegetables, beans, roots, or rices that keep digestion strong, your energy levels stable, and remove waste from the body. Like I said, the protein-carb combination is the most satisfying combination over a 3-hour period of time, especially if you're working muscles. A great example of that can be some grilled chicken or some lean steak with some roasted potatoes and some sauteed spinach, maybe with some olive oil or coconut oil. Coconut oil can actually withstand more heat than olive oil, so it's always better to cook with coconut oil. If your meal is just a salad or just protein, it's not balanced. You're not going to satisfy this machine, and it's going to create an imbalance later. And that's why you might feel hungry after 30 minutes. And of course, this is also for people on the 1-ingredient foods. If you're eating processed food, that'll always make you feel hungry later. I do not believe in keto or low carb at all. I believe these diets create more issues, and they're more of a virtue signal than a problem solver. We do not need to use language to blame a carb or a fat to actually just balance ratios. Real carbs are very important. I'll do a whole video just on carbohydrates. Balance is sustainability, and we want to sustain. Tip number 2, train your eyes when you're looking at your plate. You can kind of use some guesstimations like 50, 20, 25 rule to start, or you can use the palms of your hands, like this much protein, this many carbohydrates, and maybe this many vegetables, and maybe this much fat. Training your eyes is the best mastery for lifestyle. I call this the 50-20-25 rule. 50% of your plate is non-starchy vegetables like greens, broccolis, peppers, cucumbers, some sort of a fibrous green. 25% is some sort of a lean protein, like a fish, a chicken. I would not use any tofu or any processed foods. I would just stick to the clean stuff that came out of the earth that way. And 25% of a 1-ingredient carbohydrate from the earth, like a potato, a yam, and then also a fat. Training your eyes is one of the smartest ways to do it, because we're going to use our eyes the rest of our life if we're out at a restaurant or traveling or at work or anything. And so the palms of our hands are great measurements to start with proteins and carbs, but just focusing on finding the ones from the earth. If the proteins have a little bit of fat in them, I think it's fine. fat is really, really good for us. And if it naturally occurs in the food that way, that's the best type of fat to get. I think when things start getting too too much of a chemistry lab, I think that's what makes things complicated. I'm in firm belief that God knew exactly what he was doing when he created these one ingredient foods. And foods naturally have fats that occur in them, and they naturally have carbohydrates. And those carbohydrates are hydration for hydrating, and we just had the hydration video. And then they naturally have these fats in there. So if we kind of train our eyes to like say, okay, I'm gonna get my protein and my carb like the size of my hand, and get my greens like maybe the size of both of those are rough estimates. And you probably don't even need to plan in the fat, because you're probably going to get a little fat in there naturally, whether it's a salmon or it's a nut or something in there. But roughly, you're trying to probably get around 10% fat, maybe 20 to 25% carbohydrates, 20 to 25%, or I would say maybe 25% protein, and maybe anywhere between 40 to 50% of a leafy green. So even though I give the 50, 20, 25, it's about rough estimates, and the body actually works off of fluctuations. We naturally fluctuate in our food. So I think it's important to build your habits on how life really works. The visuals also keep it easy, and everybody has a different size hand. You don't have to count every calorie, just eyeball your plate and follow the layout. And because you're in a certain ecosystem of clean foods as opposed to processed foods, things work really, really different. The rules for somebody on one ingredient foods from the earth are very, very different than somebody eating processed foods. I don't believe in calorie diets either. I've never once, well, I shouldn't say I've never done it. I've hardly ever done a calorie-based diet in over 28 years. And you can make this vegan or vegetarian, but just keep in mind, vegan or vegetarian just means more work. So if you have the time, it's perfectly realistic. Tip number 3, clean out your pantry, not just your plate. You can't eat clean if your environment is dirty. Go through your pantry and toss and donate, or just throw it away. We don't need it. Our whole country is like dealing with health issues, so I would just throw it away. It's not benefiting anybody. Anything with more than 5 ingredients that you cannot pronounce, I would just chuck it. Refined seed oils like canola, soybeans, or corn oils, and I'll link the Yucca app down below. Get rid of all ultra-processed snacks and cereals and frozen meals and sugary sauces. Just start looking through that. Anything more than 5 ingredients, just start tossing it out. Then restock with coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, clean proteins like wild tunas, natural, I use ice and natural salmon, some nut butters, nuts, fruits, dry lentils, beans, some whole grains. Some people should not eat grains. And I'll do another video on grains, herbs, spices, sea salts, lemons, and apple ciders. This tip is a game changer because it removes the temptation and makes clean eating convenient. If it's not in your kitchen, it's not going to be on your plate. Tip number 4, balance your blood sugar with every meal. Here's where things get real. Even clean foods can mess with your blood sugar if you don't balance them. Eating just fruit, you could be just spiking your insulin. Eating processed foods, you could be crashing midday. And even some of and there's even a lot of clean foods that people don't realize are processed nowadays, like oatmeal. I'm not a big advocate of oatmeal. To balance your blood sugar, always pair the carbs with your proteins and your fats. Eat in a calm state. Stress impacts how your body handles glucose. I've had tons of cortisol issues ever since the end of the pandemic, and I've had to actually do lots of different things with the nutrition plans because of cortisol. Space your meals out 3 to 5 hours apart, avoiding consistent insulin spikes or too much food in your body. There can be lots of ways to space out the food. I just did a metabolism masterclass going over a lot of different things in digestion, and depending on what's going on in somebody's life, you want to package the food differently. If you want more information on digestion, sign up for my Metabolism Masterclass. One of the biggest mistakes I see people snacking consistently, even on healthy foods, the habit of keeping your body in a fat storing mode. And it's fat storing because, and it actually ends up exhausting your esophagus and can actually lead to a lot of acid reflux. Because every time you're putting food in your body's system, this gate is constantly opening and closing. And so if you're putting too much food in it throughout the day, you're completely exhausting this gate, and you could actually notice more acid reflux, which starts to lead to some other issues. So we want to give space in between meals for our body to digest the food properly. Balanced meals, balanced blood sugar, and balanced fat burning is the goal. Weight training is another thing that helps to balance blood sugar. This is a total fitness hack. If you're diabetic, if you're anybody, this will benefit, but especially if you're diabetic, activating these muscles will suck up all the sugar before it gets to the organs. So I definitely jump on some weights. And if you want to join one of my my live weight training courses, click on my metabolism class and I can send you more information on my live weight training courses. I'll be going over weight training in my next video. Tip number 5, making meal prep part of your self-care system. I saved this one for last because honestly, this is where the magic happens. Balanced meals don't happen when you're stressed, starving, and grabbing whatever is available. They happen when you're prepped ahead and you make it easy for yourself to win. And then that can be turned into a lifestyle change. And the lifestyle change is when the real magic happens and it becomes part of who you are. And then you get to live in the body you love. Mastery. We want to master ourselves. Here's what I suggest. Take anything that you think you already can do and start implementing it, because we want to implement the easy stuff first. If you don't know where to start, pick 1 or 2 proteins for the week, like chicken or turkey or salmon or steak or any type of a 1 ingredient food that comes from the earth. The earth created it that way. Roast 2 to 3 trays of mixed vegetables with some coconut oil or olive oil. Cook up a batch of brown rice. It takes 5 minutes. We generally repeat ourselves a lot, so then it's real easy to take that and take the things that work and go on repeat mode. And just change out 1 meal if you needed something to be changed out. And you can mix and match the meals. And if you're just changing out 1 meal per week or every other week or every 3 weeks, that usually gives variety. It just will take a little bit longer, just every 2 to 3 weeks. And then it doesn't seem as huge. Here's another hack. If you really don't have the time to even get to do any of your food prep, go down, find a local restaurant, whether it's like a market broiler or some sort of a food prepping company, and purchase the food already made. And a lot of these food prepping companies will actually deliver, okay? And I found both will work really, really well. A food prepping company or just talking to a business owner at a restaurant or just going in an order. There's a lot of market broiler restaurants that you could just go in there and buy like 5 pounds of cooked chicken, and for a busy person, that takes like 30 minutes in the drive-through lane, and you can have, 5 pounds of chicken, and you could actually even a lot of times buy your potatoes or rice. Potatoes and rice and chicken are very, very easy to buy at a restaurant, but it gets the job done, especially if you live in California. We are so overworked in this state. We need solutions like this. Meal prep is not just about convenience. It's about setting yourself up to succeed. And that's what we want to do. Just like if you were doing a financial plan, you're going to do it to succeed, right? And you want to master you and master your life. And so if your life works in a particular way, we need to create your lifestyle around that way that your life particularly works. And sometimes these tips are just used at the beginning because it's always more work at the beginning. And this is the biggest gift you can give yourself every single week, is to take care of your food, because then it's going to make your body feel so good. And then when you feel good, you're going to go out there in your personal and your professional life, and you're going to make other people feel good, or you're going to solve problems better, or just be a better version of yourself. To wrap up, so there you have it. 5 clean eating tips, 1 balanced plate formula, and a whole new level of energy and simplicity coming your way. Clean eating is not about perfection. It's about progress, consistency, and mastery. Mastery is the key. Most people like to use discipline and control. Discipline and control are the worst words you can use. We want to master ourselves, master our lifestyle, master our routines. If you love this video, give it a like and a subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you want to learn more about your metabolism, check out my Metabolism Masterclass, where I dive deep into a cellular level and give even more information on the stuff I'm telling you about today, on how the body works, how to master this system, just so that you can enjoy living in the body you love on a daily basis. Let me know your comments of which of these 5 tips you're going to try first. Remember, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to commit and start mastering. I'm Karla Adams, and I'll see you in the next video. Eat clean and exercise today. Bye.